Hello everybody, this is Gwyneth and welcome to my channel. Listen, this is a forecast that runs from July 15th to the 25th. I am going to do my best to support you in understanding what it is that we need to take away from this upcoming few weeks. I know you've been hearing all of the stories about the basket, the cradle, and also more and more about the person who discovered it, Andre Barbeau. But it still confuses most of the people I talk to. So this week, I'm going to focus on aspects. In a couple days, maybe even sooner, I will post my interpretation of what I think is happening here. And hopefully it will help you to have a clear understanding of what the next few weeks look like and how it impacts us going forward. Okay? All right, let's dive right in and talk about some of the current transits. And I hope you have your coffee. I have mine, see, iced coffee. This is a summer ritual for my family that goes back to when I was a little kid. My mother always made her own iced coffee brews. So it always makes me happy to have that nearby. Now, let's start off talking about the basics. On the 14th, we have a new moon, or had a new moon in Cancer. The emphasis was on security, home and family, or any of those areas within your chart where Cancer is sitting. That means cozy, homey, security, hearth, etc. You get my picture. For some people, that's in the area of physicality. For some people, going for a long run gives them a sense of wellness that harkens back to something they did maybe as a small child that gave them a sense of well-being. But it's different for different people. That new moon is a new beginning. We're shutting the doors on old things that we've been up to, and now we're moving into a period where we can start working on new projects. Now, I'm going to run through some of the basic issues that are occurring all the way through the 24th, 25th. And then I'll give the rundown on all of the signs. And I feel it's important to make these various aspects very clear to you. So let's jump in. On the 15th, Uranus in Gemini, very mercurial, very, think outside the box, is sextiling, which is very positive, Neptune in Aries. Okay? Aries in that particular placement makes the unknown very known, very clear. And there's a breakthrough of some sort. There's an understanding that's dawning on all of us. Depending on where it falls in your personal chart, that's another story. But with the world right now, there's a growing awareness of what we need to be taking care of. Excuse me, but this weather makes me itchy. Okay. So think breakthrough, not breakdown. It's terrible when you laugh at your own jokes. And it's a time for clarity. On the 18th, Uranus will trine. That's a very nice combination. Uranus in Gemini, air sign, Pluto in Aquarius, an air sign. These two planets come together in what some astrologers are calling a once-in-a-lifetime situation. We don't have a historical marker for this. So it's a growing awareness that's happening, but it's also innovation at its extreme. I am calling it a recalibration. It's stepping back from the things that we've been spending our time creating over the last millennia, and looking at them and saying what works, what doesn't work. It's a little bit like turning your cell phone off so that you can reboot it in some way. That rebooting is an old computer term, but I think it fits in this scenario very well. We're starting over. It doesn't mean that we're moving ourselves to the 1950s or the 1800s. We're starting to analyze what truly benefits us as a societal whole. So think about that. On the 19th, we've got the big guns going here. We've got Jupiter in Leo, which is, as I have said repeatedly, drama personified. We have it trine Neptune in Aries, which is another fire sign. So it takes the Jupiter, which wants to enlarge everything, and adds it to Neptune, which wants to delve deeply into mysteries. At the same time, there's a sextile to Uranus, which is in Gemini. So innovation combined with theatrical aspects, combined with let's think very deeply about the unknown, opposing Pluto. Because Jupiter is opposing Pluto, Aquarius and Leo in opposition. This particular aspect will happen 5 more times over the next few years. So we have to be kind of aware that there is a movement afoot. I'm so excited about this. I don't see it as negative. I don't see it as something that we should be frightened of. It feels as if all the things that I have worked on, my friends have worked on, whether it was through academic channels or through working, carefully in various political movements or things that had to do with diet and nutrition, are starting to be important to our society again. And we are using some of that collective know-how to make changes that benefit everybody. At least this is my wish. On the 19th, the moon will be at 8 degrees of Libra. When we look at those other planets that are all at 4 degrees, every single one of them, which is rare as well, there'll be a conjunction or a trine or something to this particular moon. Libra brings balance, it brings harmony, it brings beauty into the mix. And it is part of the pattern that is being created by these various transits that I'm talking about. And it may sound confusing, but it's as if this particular quote-unquote aspect creates a handle to that collection of planets all in the same degree, so that they can move and be carried along by our culture. Does that make sense? I hope so. I want it to be understandable. On the 21st, Jupiter, the planet of growth expansion, in Leo, so if you're a Leo, you're feeling this, will sextile Uranus in Gemini. It brings incredible desire to the surface to make change, to get things right, to innovate. Then Jupiter, around that time, will do a kaboomy. Jupiter will oppose Pluto. Jupiter in Leo will make an oppositional placement to Pluto that wants to move everything aside, bulldoze everything, and make change. And Jupiter, because of its energy field, wants to enlarge upon people's feelings, their understandings, think about a person who produces movies. They want it to be bigger, badder, louder. That's Jupiter. Put these two energies together and you have an energy force that is hard to contain. It can be positive or negative. Now, hold on to your hats. On the 24th, around the 24th, Neptune in Aries will sextile Pluto in Aquarius. I don't care if you understand the jargonese here, but when you put this together, these two planets working together, Pluto and Neptune, Neptune is begging the Plutonian energy to cool its jets, to calm down, and to analyze spiritually, psychically, emotionally what is really happening. Is this real or not? And that is why I say these various transits open our eyes, clarify the facts, energetically pull the curtains off the windows and let the sun in. I don't see it as something that's going to cause destruction and mayhem. I do think there will be some large gesticulation, a lot of arm waving and chest pounding. But we know how to manage that, right? On the 24th, Mercury will go direct. Mercury in Cancer. Cancer is a stabilizing force. It can be a little bit gossipy, but it will move forward so we can start taking care of business. Give it a few days, get past the shadow period, like, maybe move into early August, and then you can start sending out resumes again, and you can make sure that documents that you send are being received. It plays into all of the things that we will have experienced from the 14th, which has already passed, right into the 25th. It will finally allow us to communicate carefully and directly and with some amount of compassion, because Cancer is a very emotional, caring sign. I hope that gives some clarity to the situation. I'm excited about what we're going to experience and how this impacts all of you. Every single planet, except for some of the closer planets like Mars or the Sun, is at 4 degrees. They're all moving in tandem. They're all dancing together to help make change, to help us shift gears. And that's what I think is happening over the next few days. Really. If you have comments and you want to get a hold of me and you would like me to look at your charts, drop me a line. I'm at cottagetarot.com, and we can talk about, your chart and all of the good things that are relatable. Okay, let's take a look at all of your sun signs, and we'll talk more later on about this, what they're calling a basket. because I am going to drop another video about that, and it'll be short and sweet, but I think it'll also add more information to this. Okay, take care, and let's move on to the sun signs. Hello, Aries. Hello, Aries, how are you? I know this has been a busy season for you, but let's talk shop. Okay, over the next few weeks, there will be aspects that matter that you need to pay attention to. I am not going to belabor every single solitary shift that's occurring. I'm going to talk about the most important. Okay, where does the Pluto-Jupiter opposition happen for you? And that's around the 21st. Maybe you might even be feeling it around the 19th. And it's in your 11th house and 5th house. So the 5th house is all about love, beauty, romance, children, going to the park, having play dates, etc., etc. But it is in opposition to the 11th house. So you may feel that the organizations that you're involved with, or groups that you spend time with, or that are demanding your time, are not allowing you to have downtime with your loved ones. Or you might have somebody that you would like to date, and the company you work for just won't free it up for you to do any of it. So that's one thing that's happening. Then the other biggie is that as I said before in my review, Pluto, Jupiter, Uranus, and Neptune are all at 4 degrees. They're all pinging off each other. So Neptune, for you Aries, is in your 1st house. It is describing you to the world right now. People are seeing you as elusive, as somehow very different from the rest. You may feel that folks think you somehow know more than you do. Uranus is in your 3rd house. It's in the area of communication. You may come up with some unbelievable ideas that you want to share with people that you're connected to. And then lastly, there has been a new moon in Cancer, so it was focusing on home and family. But we also have, around the 19th, we have Libra in your 7th house of long-term relationships. And this opposes that Neptune in Aries. So you may feel a little bit frustrated with some of your issues that are occurring as far as long-term relationships. And you may be picking up psychically, intuitively, or just analytically something that doesn't feel right in a long-term partnership. You may sense that that person isn't happy and you want to make it better. So those are the key issues over the next few weeks. Now let's take a look at the cards. Okay, let's put an oracle card down for you, Aries. It's a time to be really productive. I'm not talking about, when I talk about fertility, because that's what this card is, you could have a baby if you're in that mindset. But fertility also has a lot to do with being very productive. What are you working on right now? Are you a painter? Are you in corporate work? Do you have a staff? Are they being unbelievably instrumental in making some changes in the environment that you're working in? I mean, you're worried, but you shouldn't be, because this card, this is the 8 of Swords. This is needless worry. Drop it. Move forward. You're doing fine. The Moon, you're worried about it because you've had past failures. But I think moving forward, you can do a lot more than you did last time. You've learned a lot. Because luck is on your side right now. This is the Star card. You have changed. And you fought the good fight. 7 of Wands. And now you're ready. You've got everything is in your court. You have the skills, the psychological, the emotional, and the spiritual know-how to work on a new project and to be successful. So Aries, I want you to have a wonderful few weeks, and I will see you after the 25th. Take care. Leo, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Listen, I have a lot of information for you, so you might as well grab a pencil. Okay. So I mentioned in the review that we have all of these incredible aspects occurring from the 15th right into the 25th. I'm going to highlight some of the things that I think are important for you to take note of. So let's start. On the 15th, Uranus in Gemini will sextile Neptune in Aries. Okay, so Uranus is in your 11th house of groups, hopes, wishes, organizations that you work with, and that will sextile Neptune in the 9th house. So there may be a desire on your part to grow, to expand beyond what you've been doing. Maybe you want to go and get some extra education, and that is quite a possibility. But the breakthrough for you is that knowing that there's an opportunity that you can access. Maybe you couldn't afford it before. Maybe your organization is willing to support you in getting extra training. Okay, that's one of the key points. On the 18th, there is a major recalibration for you. So you have Uranus in the 11th house of groups and organizations and dreams that you have, and it's trine Pluto in Aquarius in the 7th house. So there may be a partner in your life where there's an opportunity for the two of you to work together to make something really big in as far as a business or a love affair or something. And maybe what you're, if you're in a romantic relationship, maybe you're planning to get married and you never thought you would. Maybe you're 72 and have finally found the love of your life. Or maybe you never thought that person would be free for you. I mean, there's a 1,000 permutations, but this is big. This is really, really big. On the 21st, Jupiter will sextile Uranus. Uranus, I like to say it because I think it sounds better. So Jupiter in your 1st house, which is in the sign of Leo, and that's your identity, will will sextile Jupiter. Will sextile Uranus in Gemini in the 11th house. So somehow or other, there's an organizational member or somebody with deep pockets who takes a great interest in what you're up to. They may be willing to support you financially on a new business venture, or they may believe in something that you've been working on and want to be part of it as well. So keep that in mind. There will be an opposition around the 21st between Jupiter and Pluto. And for you, that's your 1st house and your 7th house of long-term relationships. And as we were talking about before, relationships play a big role in what's happening on with you right now. But with Jupiter opposing it, you may find that something you do, something you say, or something that you appear to be in front of her family or his family or their family shakes the apple cart in some way. And it could change everything or not. Maybe it's best that it come out. Maybe they discover that you're a different culture and that's not okay. Or they discover that you don't believe in X, Y, or Z. I always believe love can conquer all. but this is going to be a big issue for a lot of Leos in the next few weeks. So on that note, let's take a look at the cards and see how they're influencing everything you're doing right now. We'll pull one oracle card, and then we'll put a couple other tarot cards on top of it. Leo, 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 Leo. Crystal. Okay, everything you do right now has to be analyzed from various different angles. I don't always like to encourage that because you can get a little bit mashugana, but it's important right now for everything you're involved with. You need to sit down and quietly negotiate all the projects and things that you're thinking about. There is an opportunity for a celebration, possibly a wedding. There will be an offer or a news coming to you that's very big and possibly about a child. A very new opportunity for either a move or a new position in a new career situation. You may have had your heart broken before. You've been pierced through 1,000 times, and some of this could impact the way you're feeling about all the good things that are coming toward you. You feel like you can't really take it seriously, but you have to be strong. This is the King of Wands, and it's about Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius people, non-gender specific. It's about you being the person that can stand up to almost anything and not back down, because the Star card tells me luck is on your side. Okay, Leo, until next time, take care and be well. Hello, Sagittarians, how are you? Let's jump right in and take a look at your chart. The new moon in Cancer landed in your 8th house. It's all about transition. It can be heavy. It can be about your sexuality and, deep, mysterious things that are very hard to put your finger on. But it's about change. It's about transitioning into something different. And that happened on the 14th, and it kind of was the kickoff for everything that's coming up. On the 15th, there is what we're calling a breakthrough moment when Uranus sextiles Neptune. And you're scratching your head and saying, what? Well, okay, let's break this down. So Uranus is in your 7th house. It's about long-term partnerships, relationships, and business partnerships. When you sextile, it's a very positive thing, and it's sextiling to Neptune in the 5th. 5th is the house of love and beauty and romance and the children that you care for. So there is a connection, an understanding, an awareness with Neptune. It's very, very, very subtle. But it's sextiling Uranus, the area of innovation. You want to change that relationship, that long-term partnership, and you want to have fun doing it. So this is coming up for you around the 15th and onward. You're tired of the old way. You're tired of all the old standards. And you'll be talking about that with your partners or your lovers, even with your children if they can understand you. Hell, I talked to my kids when they were 6 months old, and we had fabulous conversations. So keep that in mind. On the 18th, Uranus in your 7th house of partnerships and Pluto in the 3rd house of communication have an enormous connection. They make a trine. It's very positive. There will be the potential for you to be very clear with a partner. This is who I am. This is where I want to go. This is what I'd like to see happen. I'm in love with you. I want to be your lifetime partner. I want to build a business with you. I want to, I want it to be bigger than Jupiter. And that will be coming up for you. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for change. On the 21st, Jupiter will sextile in that 7th house of where Uranus is sitting. And Jupiter is in the 9th house of expansion and growth and travel. There will be an opportunity to do something with a partner. Maybe you're deciding to move a business. Maybe you're expanding it. Maybe you want to travel with your romantic partner. Whatever, but this is coming up as well. The opposition of Pluto to Jupiter, which everyone's been talking endlessly about. You got Pluto in your 3rd house, Pluto in the sign of Aquarius, which is very innovative. And then Jupiter is in your 9th house of expansion. So there could be even though it's an opposition, there's a potential here for something to change, shift, blow up, and force you to go in a new direction. For instance, maybe what you've been planning to do is go to a particular university, and you are offered a different opportunity to take over your grandfather's farm in Vermont. And you have to put off, or you want to put off, the college situation. Years ago, I remember when I was an undergraduate, and I'm talking, we had no money. I was approached by the head of the philosophy department, who said to me, we think, I don't know who the we was, we think you would benefit from doing a study abroad program. And I was like, that sounds like fun, but, well, what happened is they had me apply for a fellowship, and through a lot of effort, I was actually given the fellowship. They chose several different nominees, and I was one of them. I was able to travel abroad, do research, etc., but it was handed to me. It was something the universe wanted me to do. And this, even though it may feel at first like things are falling apart, you will have an opportunity that allows you, because with all the other transits, changes in the wind. So something better will come along. But with this Pluto opposition to Jupiter, it will at first feel like an explosive change. But I guarantee you, after a few days, even maybe a few weeks, you'll see that this was something better replaces it. So that's what's happening for you, Sagittarians. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And, drop a line at cottagetarot.com. And if you want more information about your chart, let me know that too. But let's take a look at the tarot cards and see how they dovetail with what we're talking about. Okay, quickly, let's take a look at the oracle card. You can do it. Don't let anything get in the way of you moving forward. This card is saying that to you. You are strong. You're ready. Let's put a couple tarot cards over this. You've been anxious, the devil, and worried. There will be an offer of some sort that's very good. Knight of Cups is always, it's either about love or, something else that you would cherish. Queen of Swords is a person who has authority and is very, very intellectual. There's a possibility of a partnership forming. So the person who's approaching you is a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, and this is about a partnership. a commitment. Doors are opening for you, Sagittarius. This is big. The world is at your feet. Or another way of saying it, the world is your oyster. Yeah. That's the news. I want you to be well. Take time out to breathe and have a fabulous few days. Bye-bye. Hello, Geminis. How are you? I hope you're well. Let's dive right into your chart and see what's happening here. So, we've already experienced the new moon in Cancer. And for you, that fell in the area of finance. So you may have restructured your financial portfolio, or you're thinking about better ways to make income happen. Fabulous. There is a breakthrough that starts around the 15th. Uranus in your sign, and it's in Gemini. It's in the first house. It's about your identity. People are attracted to you, but they find you curious. It will sextile Neptune, and Neptune is in the 11th house. So people not only are curious about who you are and how your brain operates, but it's a large group of people that are interested in you. Maybe you're possibly going in for an interview. Maybe you are looking to find something that will enhance your career or your educational experience. On the 18th, Uranus in your first house of identity and how you appear to the world will trine Pluto. Remember, these are all at 4 degrees, and it will trine Pluto in the 9th house. Oh boy, this is exciting. It is off the charts because there's something about how you are and what you appear to be that is possibly going to allow you, it's so dynamic, an opportunity to travel, which means exploring the world, travel into foreign lands, or maybe you're just going to California and you live in New England, or you will have an interview, something to do with school. Maybe you're trying to get into a graduate program. Whatever it is, you are a standout in the field that you're trying to enter. I don't mention this for all the signs, but I think it's important because of the fact that you're an air sign. So the moon around the 19th will be in the sign of Libra. And Libra, for you Gemini natives, moon and sun, moon, sun, and rising, is in your 5th house of love. Children, fun times, entertaining, the arts. And there will be a trine to your natal sun, as well as to Uranus in Gemini. And also, there is this also a trine to Pluto in the 9th house. So dynamic shifts and possibilities are imminent for you, Gemini, because this moon is the emotional center for you. And yes, that is my dog whining because he wants to be right in this video. I had to put him in the other room because he was barking at the mailman. So the moon in Libra is co-facilitating the changes on an emotional level, because you're going to have to get used to this idea that you are in the know. So keep that in mind. The opposition between Pluto and Jupiter. Pluto in the 9th house, Jupiter in the 3rd house. So there could be a push-pull between something you're trying to achieve and something that you maybe have said. So be careful how you express yourself in meetings, interviews, etc. And that is around the 21st. Also, you could have a little bit of a push-pull with one of your siblings, and it could be a little combustive because you got Jupiter and Pluto interacting. So keep that in mind. I don't know what to tell you, Gemini. It looks like some very interesting things are on the horizon. I'd like to be kept in the loop. Drop me a line at cottagetarot.com and let me know how you're doing. Okay, I'm going to pull an oracle card for you. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Follow your heart. Do what you want to do. Always go back to your center. It will help you a lot. Let's see. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. Happy family. Some luck is on your side. Joyous moments are coming forward. There is somebody in an authoritative position that wants to help you. There is news, good news about money, and it's possibly linked to this authority figure. King of Pentacles, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn individual, but definitely an increase financially. Okay, Gemini, be well. Come visit me back after the 25th, and we can all gather our thoughts. And like I said, don't feel shy about dropping me a line at cottagetarot.com. Thank you. Hello, Librans. How are you? We have a lot to talk about, so get out a pencil and paper, and if you feel so inclined, get something cool to drink. I'm drinking iced coffee, which makes me talk very fast, but I love it. I love it in the summertime. Okay, here we go. A lot of aspects, and I will try to keep them short but sweet, but also important. So, Uranus is in Gemini. Uranus in Gemini is trine to your earthy Libran sun. So, where is Uranus in your chart? It's in the 9th house of learning, growing, travel. Very, very think outside the box. You may have experiences, if you do travel, that you've never had before. Sextiling Neptune is a very interesting thing because it's very positive. It will mean that you're working with a partner or traveling with a partner or learning something new with a partner. You could be in Bangladesh or Bora Bora and you will discover something that you have been looking for all of your lives. So it could be very, 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 very interesting, and it could be a breakthrough scientifically, personally, emotionally, whatever. On the 18th, there is a once in a lifetime, that we haven't seen these kind of aspects before, where Uranus in Gemini, which is up in that 9th house again, of travel, exploration, and learning, will trine Pluto. And Pluto is in Aquarius in your 5th house. So something creative, if you're an artist, could take you by surprise. Or it could be a situation where you're traveling with somebody and you discover they are romantically interested in you. And you only find it because you're in Kathmandu. Who knows? But it's something to keep your eyes on because this is coming up very soon. On the 19th, we have the moon in Libra, which is in very close proximity degree-wise with all of those other planets that are at 4 degrees. And Libra, the Libra moon will be right on top of your sun, your rising, etc. So it's important. It's about your identity. It's about who you are. It's about how you express yourself and how the world will see you as somebody who is creative and beautiful and just someone that they want to know. On the 21st, Jupiter in Leo, which is in the area of your chart that's all about groups, big organizations, will sextile Gemini. It'll sextile Uranus in Gemini. So, you know, there could be something about an organization that wants to send you to some off-site explorative experience. They want to pay for you to go to graduate school. They want to get you trained so that you can take over something in the company. Any number of things can occur with this particular transit. On the 24th, Neptune in Aries will sextile Pluto in Aquarius. So Neptune in Aries is in the area of partnerships, long-term relationships. And it will sextile Pluto in the 5th house. So here's a scenario. 5th house is about romance. Not only, but partly. It's also about the arts. It's about children. And there could be a connection between doing something with someone where they see you in your highest capacity. They always say that people fall in love with you when you're doing what you love. Where this situation could lead to a long-term partnership or business arrangement, romantic or otherwise. So keep that in mind. The other thing that's happening is on the 25th, Mercury in Cancer will go direct. It has been retrograde and it has been causing a lot of, you know, now I see it, now I don't, or I send a memo, it gets lost. And where is that in your chart? It is in the area of your career. So everything and anything you try to send out may have been getting confused or lost or whatever. By the second week of August, we'll be out of the shadow period and things will feel more balanced and information can flow better. I just thought I would mention it because it is directly in your area of career or organizations or community involvement, where being able to express yourself and send information is paramount. Okay, now, Librans, let's look at some oracle cards and then see what's happening with you on that level. I hate to jump so fast, but before the dog starts whining again, he wants to sit in my lap, of course. I want to get this information out to you. Libra, Libra, Libra. It's a time, very important time for you, and you need downtime. Now, this card comes up when you need to find something that can take your mind off of the projects and the concerns surrounding you. What do you do to chill? Some of you meditate, fine. Some of you walk, some of you run, some of you knit. So keep this in your back pocket because you'll need that over the next few weeks for relaxation and for your health. Okay, Libra, Libra, Libra. You're starting to see where your assets lie. You're starting to see what you need to be doing, and you may be consulting with somebody so you can clarify what your mission is. It could be a therapist, it could be a financial planner. And this is also connected to it, the Three of Wands. So you have the consulting happening, but this is also seeing now what you can do with that information. Invest, move, follow your heart, whatever. there is a rebirth. This card comes up, the death card comes up when you really are starting to come back online and maybe even to be involved with something that you've shelved. The person you might be trying to be is more of a leader, a manager, a director. Mrs. Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. Person, you are in charge. You are mature and ready to take the reins. You've fought the good fight. Now it's time to take charge of what comes next, because luck, joy, abundance, success is coming toward you, and you need to grab it. Okay, Libra. Until next time, be well and take care. Hello, all you fabulous Aquarians. So much is happening and so much is affecting you because of the aspects that are all swirling around us. And remember that the planets that we're talking about are all what we call outer planets, and they're all at 4 degrees, an unheard of, unprecedented combination of situations. And I will be posting a video that relates just to the configuration that these are creating. But until that point, let's talk about you. On the 15th, Uranus in Gemini will sextile Neptune in Aries. Translated into English, Neptune will be in the 3rd house, where you are really picking up intuitive flashes and you're communicating it to the world. And it has to do with things that you really love. Your children, your romantic partner, the arts, the things that you just involve yourself with that are so much fun for you. So you're picking up that there are opportunities for you to be doing more, to spending more time with your family, or maybe spend more time making art. But Aquarians, this is your moment to shine. And it's a breakthrough. Push everything else aside and move into what you know you do best. A once-in-a-lifetime transit is occurring. Gemini, Uranus is in the sign of Gemini, in that 5th house of creativity, children, and the arts, like I just mentioned. Trining Pluto in Aquarius, in your sign. What does this mean for you? You're finally getting recognized. People are drawn to who you are, your identity, your purpose, your mission. And there will be this impactful situation that is affecting all of those important things that I just mentioned in the 5th house. Because you are growing in some way that's going to be important for your direction in life. That's coming up. It's innovative, and you are recalibrating. You've reached a point of development where this is important. On the 19th, because you're an Aquarian, I need to mention this, the moon is in Libra, and it does conjoin those degrees that we've been mentioning, because all those outer planets are at 4 degrees, and the new moon is at 8. Not the new moon. The moon in Libra is at 8 degrees. And it will create a connection to all of these other planets, but the moon in Libra is in your 9th house. So there's an opportunity here for expanding, growing, learning something new that will apply to something that matters to you right now, particularly as it relates to something with how you're perceived by the world, and also something to do with your children, the arts, your creative foundation, your love life. Now, something that's serious here, and it's going to create a little bit of cacophony, Pluto in the first house, that's your identity, will oppose Jupiter in Leo in your 7th. Something about what you've said, what you've done, how you're being perceived is disturbing a partner, a long-term partner, marriage partner or business partner. In this case, I think it is a profound growing awareness on the part of the partner of who you are and what you need to be. And you'll have many, many, many discussions about how to manage that. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, Mercury is moving direct around the 24th. And Mercury going direct is important. We'll be at a shadow period by the first week of August. And this part has to do with the workaday world and your health. So something that you have been trying to communicate or share will be shareable and easily accessible as we move into August. So, Aquarius, I want you to have a fabulous couple weeks. I'd love to hear from you. Drop me a line. I'm at cottagetarot.com. Okay, I'm going to look at the cards and see, pull an oracle card and see what's mostly important for you right now. This is for all you Aquarians out there. Artistic expression. I don't care how you do it. I don't care if you play an instrument, dance, paint ceilings, walk in the mud, make patterns in the sand and photograph them. It doesn't really matter. This is what you need to be doing right now. Finding a way to communicate your ideas through a creative medium. All of you Aquarians need a thump on the head. Nothing is more important than this at this point, because you all inherently have unbelievable minds that connect you to higher realms where you can communicate your creativity to the world. You've been holding back, the Hangman. And this means you've been doing it on purpose. It's because you had your heart broken. Somebody put you down. Somebody got in your way. Somebody cheated on you. Somebody did something to you. It's time to let that all go and move on. Turn it around. Queen of Wands, Leo, Sag, or Aries energy. Could be male or female. This is someone who is in and around your orb. They're fiery, they're dynamic, they're demanding. They could be helpful. There's a balance you need to find. The Justice card. You need to find it in your physical body, your diet, everything you're doing right now demands harmony and balance. You can't overdo anything, particularly when it comes to exercise, diet, taking your vitamins, etc. There is news coming to you. This is the Knight of Wands. And lastly, the Hierophant is about somebody who is in your camp, who is an authority on some area that you're interested in. And on that note, Aquarians, until next time, hey, drop me a line. I love to hear from all of you. Until after the 25th, I'll see you. Bye-bye. Hello, all you Tauruses. I hope you're well, and welcome to my channel, of course. Let's dive right in and see what's going on with you. Okay, Uranus is in the sign of Gemini. It is your area of production, accessing money. We call it the money house. Now, there is a breakthrough. Oh, God help us, you're thinking to yourselves. It sextiles Neptune. Neptune is in the 12th house. So you're going to intuit on a spiritual level, this is something even from a past life, on how to grow your financial portfolio. You're going to intuit a way to either find a job, a career, or something that will earn you more money, or you'll be able to take something you're already working on and make it more abundant. Okay, so that's happening. It's a major breakthrough. On the 18th, Uranus, again in that second house of finance, will trine Pluto in Aquarius in your 10th. So there's a kapow moment in the career you're involved in where you either are being given a raise, they've decided to give you a boost as far as the position you hold, or you're working on a project that is earning you more money, or you decide to leave it all together to do something that is going to be more advantageous to you financially. So that's something coming up. It's innovation, it's change, it's blow it out of the water and make something happen. It's fabulous. On the 19th, the moon is in Libra, and although Taurus is an earth sign, Libra is also ruled by Venus. And Libra in your chart is very important. And I'm looking at your chart right now, and that is in your 6th house. So this is an opportunity to do something creative, artistic, or something beautiful that you care about in the work you're doing, or with the work you're doing. Okay. On the 21st, Jupiter in Leo. In the house of home and family and mom, will sextile that second house of money. Uranus is there where innovation is taking place. Something happening in the family will help you to grow financially. It could be an inheritance. It could be putting on an addition so you can bring in extra money and by renting something out. The matriarch of the family may say to you, you know what? I believe in the project you're working in. Here's $20,000. Do something with it. That's coming up. Now, one of the most irksome but exciting aspects of the entire next couple years is Pluto opposing Jupiter. So let's talk about this. Pluto is in your 10th house of career. Pluto is innovative. It's in Aquarius. It's finding new ways to make things happen in the career area. And it's working very, very much against something that's happening in the family. So maybe you're trying to work a job and you're also taking care of a parent. Or maybe the home that you live in demands so much work that it's getting in the way of you actually working your career. And I want to say to you that the aspects that are coming up over the next 2 weeks are so sacred and so filled with innovation and surprising benefits that you will find a way to make this difficult situation shine. And I leave it at that. There's opportunities here for you. And then lastly, we have the Mercury, which is in Cancer, and it's in the area of where you communicate, where you share your ideas. We'll go direct, and we'll be out of shadow period by the end of the first week of August. So anything you've been trying to share with somebody or with your siblings, it will move more it'll move along more smoothly after we get out of retrograde, and that will happen at the end of the month. Okay, Taurus, let's take a look at an oracle card, pull some tarot cards, and see what else is coming up for you. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. Yay, team. Stay focused, Taurus. Don't get sidetracked. I know you're tired. I know you're hot. You need to drink more water. You need electrolytes. Whatever it is, you need to keep moving forward because you have things that need to be done and are essential for your well-being as we move forward this year. Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. There will be news about a young person or news coming from a young person. Use your intuition about how to manage this. I think it's positive. Four of Pentacles is about putting focus on your earning power and your spending activities, because doors are opening for you and you want to have the money to move forward on something that's being offered to you. It might be an investment. It might be a possibility of buying something. But you're planting the seeds for a new concept. There is a partnership that you're interested in. You may be in love with someone or interested in someone, and you're thinking very carefully about this. Okay, Taurus, drop me a note. I'm at cottagetarot.com, and have a fabulous few weeks. Take care. Hello, all you Virgos. How are you? I have Virgo rising, so I'm really interested in seeing what comes of this reading, you know? Okay, let's dive right in. On the 15th, Uranus in Gemini, which is in your 10th house, will sextile Neptune, which is all about intuition and using your sixth sense to understand something, will be in your 8th house. So something is changing. There's a transitional period, and and it has something to do with a career. You're changing careers, or you're entering a new career, or tacking on an extra career, and you need to read all the subtle cues. That's all I'm going to say. It's a breakthrough. You're moving forward, but it is demanding subtlety and clarity, and you need to use your spiritual and intuition, your spirituality as well as your intuitive skills. Thank you. Okay. Same thing. Your 10th house, your career house, your community involvement house, it has Uranus sitting there. It's all about innovation. It's about thinking outside the box. It will trine Pluto. Pluto is in Leo. And where is that for you? It's in your 6th house of work and health. So working hard is one thing, but working yourself to exhaustion is another. So take care of your well-being over the next few months. But at the same time, there's something about a job you're doing that could lead to monumental changes in your life. Excuse me. The moon on the 19th will be in Libra. And that will be in your area of finance. It interacts, that moon, because all the outer planets are at 4 degrees, this moon in Libra will trine, sextile, conjunct, whatever, areas of your chart that are very, very important. And in particular, it will trine Uranus in your area of career, which will light it up. And that is around the 19th. Jupiter in Leo will sextile Uranus in your 10th house. That's the career house. And Jupiter in Leo is in your 12th house. You're using old skills at this time to understand what's happening in your great and glorious career. You may be using past life abilities. You also need to find quiet time for discernment, because you may be picking up things that you do not like that are occurring in the area of your work, your career, and you want to make change. So keep that in mind. Jupiter in Leo, which is in that 12th house, will oppose Pluto in the 6th. So the 12th house is about deep, dark secrets. It's also about past lives. It's things that people don't know about you. But it will oppose the 6th house, which is how you work, when you work, what you're working at. So what you know how to do, maybe a carefully guarded secret, but it's somehow propelling itself to the surface. For instance, maybe you took a job because your family needed the help. Maybe you went to work in a family business for a little while because you knew one of your family members needed the help. But you've been trained possibly by, you have a background in covert operations. They don't know about it. And it's all coming to the surface. Somehow it's been leaked. Because there's a conflict that occurs between that secret part of yourself and the work you do right now. I always see the 6th house as temporary. It isn't your career, it's work you're doing now. It's also your health. So something that you've been struggling with or keeping under wraps is demanding your attention now. Maybe you have a subtle blood sugar issue, or maybe this is all, I'm not saying that's the case, but it could be something like you have flat feet and your feet hurt. Whatever. This is for entertainment purposes, but I'm saying to you, manage it. With this Jupiter-Pluto opposition, there will be an outburst. There will be discussion. There will be acknowledgement publicly of this problem. They have flat feet and it hurts to run. Whatever. But Pluto opposing Jupiter, and that will be around the 21st. So something you thought you had under wraps comes to the surface. And lastly, Virgo, because you're so comfortable with Cancer, the Mercury is in Cancer and it goes direct around the 24th. And it will facilitate communication with people who have deep pockets, people who are in your organizational circle. And particularly after the first week of August, you'll be able to communicate better with those people in large groups. Okay, Virgo, let's take a look at the oracle cards and see what needs to be said here as well. Flow of prosperity. Boy, do we need this right now? Yes, indeed. Positive, positive. So there's an increase coming your way. Major transition, possibly a move, possibly a job offer. A Knight of Cups is a declaration of love, or a declaration that from a higher up who wants to hire you or bring you in or train you or something like that. But it's good news. The Emperor is a powerful person, possibly a manager, who is interested in your talents. There is a celebration, possibly a wedding coming up. And a victory. You've been holding it together and you're moving forward, and it's very, very positive. Okay. On that note, Virgo, drop me a line. Let me know how you're doing. Please subscribe, share, like, share, and subscribe. I think that's how it goes. And until next time, after the 25th, take care. Hello, all you Capricorns. I hope you're doing well. Listen, there's some interesting stuff happening right now. All the outer planets are at 4 degrees, and we'll be talking about that in more detail in another video I'm making. But right now, we want to talk about you and how this impacts your life. So, on the 15th, Uranus is in Gemini, and it sextiles Neptune. And Neptune is in Aries. Now, what's happening in your 6th house, where Uranus sits, has to do with work. It has to do how you work, where you work, when you work, and with whom you work. And it will sextile Neptune. Now, Neptune is in your 4th house of home and family. There is a coming together energetically, your needs getting met through the work process. Here's an example. You figured it out. You need to be in the office less. There's a possibility of that. You need to work remotely. You need a job that puts less pressure on you so you can expand in other ways. This is a major, major breakthrough for you. Your eyes are open, and the opportunity is there. On the 18th, Uranus, which is in that 6th house of health, and it involves being well and work, it trines Pluto in Aquarius, and it's about money. So there's a trine between what you're working at, where you're working, how you're working, and increasing your financial portfolio. This is an opportunity that comes out of nowhere. It also is an opportunity for you to improve your health. What's going on with you? Are you working your fingers to the nubs? I know you Capricorns, you do that. So, something to pay attention to. Now, on the 19th, the moon in Libra will be conjuncting, trining, sextiling, doing all those astrological thingies, and partnering up with all the big planets to support their momentum. And Libra for you is in your career house. So this moon in Libra brings some luck, some benefits, some emotional support to your area of career. It will also trine Gemini, because it's an air sign, so they trine each other, in your 6th house of work. So there's that work thing again. How you work. Are you working too many hours? Is your company allowing you to work at home for at least a part of the week? And is there an opportunity then for you to possibly go for walks? Put your feet up and read some books. It will also trine Pluto in this area of money. So there's some lucky breaks coming your way. On the 21st, Jupiter in Leo will sextile Uranus in the 6th house of work. So Jupiter in Leo and your 6th house of work, it's all about transition, growing, changing. Some very deep shifts will be occurring that relate to the process of working. Are you still commuting? Won't you commute? Will you telecommute? Any number of things could happen. Also, as it relates to your health, you may have to take, for some of you, it's a sabbatical, so that you can go to a spa, manage your wellness, take time off to find out how you can make yourself feel better, etc., etc. So that's coming up. Probably one of the most problematic aspects that occurs is that around the 21st, Jupiter in Leo will have a combustive oppositional moment with Pluto in your 2nd house. You need something to change financially, and you're ready to make a major life transition, and you find that the one is butting heads with the other. It could be you want to spend money on X, Y, or Z, and you're not sure you can pull this one off. But like I said, all the other aspects are supporting your growth. This is a knock'em sock'em robot moment when reality sets in and you're, wow, I know what I need. Now how are we going to make it happen? And you're taking no prisoners, and you're ready for change. So that's what's happening here. The last thing is that Cancer, which is in your 7th house, Mercury has been retrograde in that 7th house. It's all about partnerships and work partners and people that are partners in your home life. That Mercury goes direct at the end of the month, and by the end of the first week in August, the shadow period will end, and you will suddenly find yourself communicating better with people who consider themselves to be partners romantically or in the business world. So just keep that in mind. Okay, Caps, let's take a look at the Oracle card, and then I'll pull some cards for that. Capricorn, Capricorn, Capricorn. What do Capricorns need to know? Okay. See, I'm going to say it without saying it. CYA. Write everything down. Keep a journal for your new ideas. You know, make sure that you are remembering what has been happening in the workplace, particularly. All you Capricorns should be taking notes right now. Not about this video, because you can always come back and listen to me, but what's happening around you and swirling around you in your career and in the work you're doing. You're moving in a new direction. So help me God, you're moving in a new direction. The Chariot. The Chariot also represents July in general. So during this month, you're moving in a new direction. And you are probably going on vacation if you're already not there, because you need time to think. You've been very anxious, the Devil, and you're up for a rebirth. You're getting ready to become your old best self. Somebody in a management position or a position of power, not the ultimate power, but somebody has their eye on you. they'd like you to work with them, because there's a new life ahead, a new start, a new beginning, something that you were not counting on that could be offered to you. There are also secrets and sneaky things happening in the background that you weren't paying attention to before, but need to. And knowing that could make you a little sad, the moon, but there is something here about a relationship as well. I'm going to put another card on that, because that relationship could bring you incredible joy, long-term partnership. Okay, Capricorn people, that's the news. I want you to have a great couple weeks. I'll be back after the 25th. Take care. Be well. Also, I'm going to drop another video about the current aspects that are swirling around us. It's being talked about, written about. Everybody's got an opinion. I have mine. And I'll let you know how everything is panning out. Take care. Be well. Hello, you Cancers. How are you? Hey, let's dive right in and take a look at what's happening. I was just eating chocolate in your charts. Well, for starters, we had a new moon on the 14th in Cancer. I think it was the starter, the kickstart to this very interesting period we're going into. In Cancer, that's in your first house of identity. So it's a very important new moon because it indicates new beginnings. On the 15th, Uranus in Gemini in your 12th house sextiles Neptune in your 10th. You are picking up information that has to do with your career. You're intuiting on a very deep level things that are resonating that people aren't saying. They're putting the vibration out. But because of your past, maybe because of your past lives, or maybe because of work you've done before, you've seen this horse and pony show. And it's all occurring in the workplace. So it's a minor breakthrough for you. On the 18th, the same area, the 12th house, which is all about secrets and hidden talents and traits and abilities and past lives, in the sign of Gemini, trines Pluto in the 8th. Very close trine. The 8th house is about transition. It is you are ready to make an enormous shift. It's like, it's as if you've been an accountant who suddenly wakes up one morning and says, I'm a ballet dancer. Who would have thunk it? And you're 50. I don't know how this will all play out for you individually, because you're all different, but it's something big. It's a once in a lifetime shift. On the 19th, we have a moon in Libra that interacts with all the various aspects that we're going to be talking about that relate to this basket formation that everyone's been talking about. And that moon is in the 4th house of home and family. It's also in the area of your house. Are you trying to fix it up? Are you trying to redecorate? Are you jettisoning old furniture? Are you simply tired of living in the same area? How does this play with everything else that's going on in your life? We can find that out. On the 21st, Jupiter will sextile Uranus. So Uranus is up in that 12th house again. Secrets, secret enemies, past lives, those things that you keep close to the vest, those secrets. Well, that sextiles Jupiter. And Jupiter is in the area of money, 2nd house. So there's your ability to earn income or bring income into your life or be given money could come from past deeds. Maybe a relative really loved what you did for them and left you in the will. Maybe there's a way for you to earn money from a skill that nobody realizes you have. I mentioned that, you know, you wake up one morning and you can do ballet. Well, it could be like you wake up one morning and you realize you're an opera singer. So this is a unbelievable set of transits that are occurring, and the opportunity here for you is unreal. Now, a harsher transit is on the, although it's a catapult, so it can kick you out of lethargy or disinterest. When Jupiter in your second house of finance is in opposition, butts heads with Pluto in Aquarius in the 8th. Something is transitioning. You need the money. You need a shift. You have to get something fixed. You have to find a way to manage it. You may actually be left money in a will, and you don't know how to deal with it. You're dealing with the sadness, and you don't really know what to do with the financial situation when you're trying to deal with other things to boot. But it's the second house of income and the 8th house of life transition. It could be that you need the money for a new car, you need the money for a trip, you need whatever. But all the other aspects that are occurring are there to support you in this challenge. So keep that in mind. On the 24th, Neptune will sextile Pluto. So that's the 10th house. So something in your career area will be helping you to deal with this challenge. You might be able to earn extra money, you might be able to work extra hours, but you will use your intuition to deal with this transitional situation that's occurring between Jupiter and Pluto. And then lastly, Mercury goes direct on the 24th, and by the end of the first week of August, Mercury will be out of shadow period. It has been in Cancer, your sign. It has a lot to do with how people perceive you, how they see your actions, and moving forward, what you are and who you are will become very apparent to people that you're spending time around. Okay, so let's take a look at the cards and see how this all plays out. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. Twin flame. This is interesting. There is somebody that is yet to show up in your life, or maybe has shown up in your life, who is actually a karmic connection and a karmic mate for you. Let's take a look at the cards and see how they relate. Twin flames are not always easy, because the two energies together demand that you really get clear on what you're bringing to this relationship. It could be that there have been conflicts, because with a twin flame, you don't always necessarily like that person right away. And it could have had something to do with money, or your concern over money, and illusions regarding money. That's the 7th of Cups. But it's time for you to take charge of this connection. Queen of Wands, Leo, Sag, or Aries. Because there will be good news about finances. Page of Pentacles. And Queen of Swords means use your intellect and your abilities. It's also it's Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. Individual who's very intellectual, that may be the person. And there's some emotional suffering that's been connected to this. There is luck related to this, an abundant, happy outcome, joyful. So let's hang in there and see what happens next. Okay, Cancers, drop me a line if any of this resonates. Let me know how you're doing. And until next time, be well. Oh, come back after the 25th. That'll be the next video. Bye. Scorpio, how are you? Let's dive right in. Oh, by the way, like, share, and subscribe. It doesn't take much and it's free. And it expands the video and to the world and helps me to grow this channel. So anyway, okay. Scorpio, what's happening here? Oh, yes, I see. Okay. So on the 15th, Uranus in Gemini, in your 8th house of transition. It could be anything. And also, transition can be buying a new car. It can be having a baby. Many things fall under that rubric. Sextiles Neptune in your 6th house of work and health. So you're working on something to improve your health. You're working on something to keep you, meaningfully engaged. And those two things are fantastic. You could be doing something that's fun but turns into a job, which happens a lot with Scorpios. It's a breakthrough. Well, on the 18th, Uranus in that 8th house of transition will trine Pluto in the area of the 4th. So there's something happening with your family life, with the matriarchy, with your home. Maybe you're ready to find a different home. Maybe you're bored with the old one. Maybe one of your children is coming to live with you, or any number of things. But it's big. And as far as we're concerned, it's a once-in-a-lifetime shift. Then on the 19th, the moon in Libra, which is in your 12th house, will intercept all of those other aspected planets to bring it to light even more. It'll trine, it will sextile, it will do beautiful things in conjunct. So Libra will conjunct the 8th house, which has Uranus in the sign of Gemini. Libra will conjunct Pluto in your 4th house, bringing luck and change into that home. Maybe you're wanting to build a deck. It doesn't have to be that you're moving. Maybe it could be that you want to build a deck that stretches over to the park and you can walk down a ramp and go right into the park. Whatever, but it's innovative and it's change-worthy. On the 21st, Jupiter in Leo will sextile that area of, again, in your 8th house of transition. And Jupiter is abundant, it's expansive, and it has something to do with your career. I just ate chocolate. I know. You should never eat chocolate when you do videos, but it was so good. Anyway, so 10th house. Jupiter is expanding you, growing you, bringing you luck into it. I don't care how old you are. You could be 15 or 75. There's growth happening that could have something to do with your community involvement. It could have something to do with your great and glorious career. It's big. And then there's a little bit of a kerfuffle between your 10th house of career and your involvement in the community, again, if you're retired. And Pluto in the 4th. So you're being asked to work in Spain, but your family doesn't like the idea of you traveling that far away. You could be asked to take a project on in Arizona, and your home is in Vermont. And everyone is wondering how you'll pull that off. But it is a conflict, and an explosive one, and life-altering, between your career and your home life. The kid that you adore is having problems, but you're being offered a position in England for the next 2 years. Now, I'm going to say something here. This could turn into an explosive situation, but you have all those other aspects that are very, very positive, that will support you in moving through what I'm calling a kerfuffle, an argument, an explosive interaction. Are we clear on this? So hang on, because a lot of things are coming to the surface right now. And then around the 24th, Mercury, which has been in Cancer and still is, will go direct. It's been retrograde. And it's been in the 9th house of expansion and ideas, and, you know, the woulda, coulda, shouldas, and if I did this, this will happen, and that. Well, anyway, that's the 9th house, your growth house. You go direct in that area where you communicate so much. You might be teaching or being asked to teach. And it all moves positively forward at the end of the first week of August. So don't give up trying to express yourself. It gets better as we go along. Okay, Scorpio, let's take a look at the oracle card that you need to see, and then we'll throw some tarot cards on top of it. Trust the people around you that you care about, and trust that they have your best interests at heart. That's what I'm picking up. Scorpio, 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 Scorpio. Knight of Swords says you have the energy to do this thing that's coming your way. It will be harmonious for you and balancing. You need this. Justice. You can't make this stuff up. It's a new start, a new beginning. You deserve this. There is a celebration coming your way. Somebody could be getting married, but it could be just a celebration about you receiving this opportunity to engage in something that you are really good at. Invite me to the party. Someone has had their eye on you for a while. 4 of Cups. And lastly, doors are opening. Opportunities abound. You're suddenly in the limelight. Scorpio, I want you to have a wonderful couple weeks. Come back to me after the 25th. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Be well and take care. Hello, all you lovely Piscean people. That's how you say it. Anyhow, I hope you're well. Let's dive right in. Oh, please, before we get going, like, share, and subscribe. It will really, really, really help this channel. And I want this to go places. So let's dive right in and see what's happening. So on the 15th, Uranus, the planet of innovation and think outside the box, in your 4th house of your home, your house, your domicile, your family, the matriarchy. makes a wonderful connection with Neptune, which is all about intuition, in your second house. So something you bring to the table, you learned from your childhood, from the family. Maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe you're trying to start a restaurant. Maybe somebody's giving you money. Maybe it's coming from the family. Maybe you inherited something. Whatever. This is coming through. It's a breakthrough that helps you to grow. On the 18th, Uranus, again in that 4th house of home and family, which is very, think outside the box. Oh, very exciting because it's in Gemini. Trines Pluto on the 12th. So, something you learned in a past life, it could be a past life growing up, or you brought it from another time, another place if you believe in past lives, or maybe it's a secret that nobody knows about you. Like, you had a belly dance, and you can teach everybody to belly dance. What is going to go on here is there is an opportunity for you to really change your life. It's a major breakthrough. It's a once-in-a-lifetime breakthrough. On the 19th, the moon in Libra, in your 8th house, is interacting with all of those planets. Those outer planets are all at 4 degrees, bringing yet another component to this whole interesting sacred collection of planets that are all interacting. And it's all about a major life transition. Yay. Yay, team. On the 21st, Jupiter in Leo, very dramatic, is up in your 6th house of work. Very much affects your health too. Well, Jupiter will trine, which is very positive, Neptune in the 2nd house. So there's something you're working on, and you're intuiting it at the same time, a way of increasing your revenue. This is big and very positive. Now the kerfuffle, I'm calling it kerfuffle, is when Pluto opposes Jupiter. Pluto is loud and large and likes to blow things up. And Jupiter in Leo is loud and large, except it just makes a lot of noise. Okay, so the two coming together could be a conflict. So something in the work life versus something in your private life, or in the life that you believe in, or you bring from another lifetime. Maybe in another lifetime, you were a vegetarian. And now in the work you do, you sell sausage. I don't know. But it's a major conflict. Now, this happens around the 21st. I just checked the dates. Listen here. All the other transits, that's when all these planets interact. And I'm going to make a video that talks about all of these transits because they're referring to it as the basket. I have another idea, but we're going to talk about it. I'm going to drop a video probably in the next 2 days. I want you to hear a different perspective. But this Pluto opposition to Jupiter, yes, it's noisy. Yes, it's complicated. Yes, it might be a little messy. Is a conflict between your work life and something you believe in that's held very close to your chest. And you will work it out. You will move through this because of all these other positive aspects that are interacting with this Pluto opposition to Jupiter. In essence, we need that Pluto opposition to Jupiter to bring to the surface something that matters to you and needs to be changed. So keep that in mind. On the 24th, Neptune and Pluto will have a sextile. What this does is bring an opportunity to the table that allows you to earn or increase your financial wellness. So that's a very positive thing. And it's due to the fact that you may have had a relationship with somebody that no one knew about, and they're leaving money for you. Or it could be a project you've been working on in secret that is earning you money now. Any number of things. And then to move on from there, Mercury has been in Cancer. Very good for water signs. And you're a water sign. And it's been in your 5th house of romance, children, the arts. Well, it's been making it difficult for you to communicate, because that's what retrogrades do. Also, it's about revision, rethink, revise, and redo. After August, after the first week of August, Mercury will go direct, and whatever you've been working on in that 5th house of creative movement or dance or children or romance, things will start to smooth out, and you'll be able to express yourself better, and information will flow better through that part of your life. If you have a teenager you're trying to communicate with, this could be the momentum you need after the first week of August. So let's take a look at the cards for you, Pisces, and see what's happening there. Pisces, 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 Pisces. Peace offering. Interesting. Creative card comes up. You need to make peace with you yourself. You are a creative person. It's time to stop being so critical of your talent. There's a new beginning. There's a beautiful new beginning. Somebody loves you and wants you to know they care about what you're doing. The star card is the lucky card. Whatever you're engaging in, it's very positive. Queen of Wands, could non-gender specific, this could be any gender, I stress that, but the Queen of Wands is somebody over 40, Sag, Leo, or Aries. They want you to know this person cares about you. King of Swords, Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini, same dealy bob as the Queen of Wands, non-gender specific, but this person is very cerebral. They're in your ballpark. And this person you may have had a past with where you were saddened by something that either they did or didn't offer up to you. And let's see what that means. Now there's possibility of short trips that relate to this person. A lot of coming and going. Some harmony, some balancing, some coming to an understanding. Okay, Pisces, drop me a line, let me know how you're doing. Come back after the 25th, there'll be another video. And also, I'll be making a short but meaningful video on the Barbeau basket, which is what we're all experiencing right now, with all of the outer planets being at 4 degrees. But until that point, take care and be well. Bye-bye.